Ah, hmm. What does meditation mean for you? Nowadays, when I go out and I speak about meditation, many people tell me, Alex, when I go fishing, oh, for me, this is like meditation. Oh, when I paint, I lose hours. I can stay hours, no, just painting. The time flows. For me, this is meditation. It is, yeah, I call it always when you do a certain activity, writing, painting, whatever it is. It is more about presence. You lose yourself because you're very present in that activity, like an active presence, where you paint, write, flow. But meditation, yet, is another principle. Meditation is about closing your eyes, sitting in a vertical position, and going within. Because we always do, we're always like drawn to be more in the activity side, doing. Whatever that is, some activities, they are great. I love riding, I love swimming. But when we work, when we communicate, when we cook, etc., we're always in the action part. But meditation is also about cultivating the being, to be, the aspect of being. A good example would be or are babies. Babies, if you look them in the eyes, what do you see? There's a lot of purity, there's a lot of beauty. Babies, like, they are in awe. And they're very, very present. And that is what all is about. That's what meditation is, going back, not to be childlike, baby-like. No. About the present, about the being aspect. Really being present, super present, authentic present, like ultra present. Not just within, but also without. That's the beauty. The more we go within in the meditation process, the more, when we open our eyes, suddenly we see differently. The reality, very subtle. We see our friend, our partner, our work colleagues, suddenly with different eyes, with a new refined reality. That's the beauty of going within. Because when we close the eyes and we go into our third eye, there's a mechanism. It really takes us deeper. It's about going more and more, or becoming more and more subtle. And hey, very important it is about to learn. Subtle is not something about, subtle. No. Subtle is about power. It's about force. The more we become, you see the subtle, in Spanish you say, lo sutil reina lo físico. Now I don't get the right word in English. The subtle really holds the physicality, or holds the physical. You see, like really the subtle. The more you change the subtle, the more you wake the subtle, suddenly on the physical reality level, things are changing. That's the beauty. So the meditation is all about going within, becoming more subtle, and cultivating the being aspect. That's meditation. But yet you need like a vertical posture. You need to have like a still, like you see when you travel in Asia and you see all these Buddha statues, they don't move. They are very present. They are like in a meditation posture. And the beauty, by closing our eyes, the third eye has a mechanism of like a vortex, like certain galaxies, they spin. You see, in the beginning, it's all about kind of becoming familiar with a certain darkness, with a certain depth. But then, little by little, there are colors, lights, movements, shapes. A certain depth is opening. Maybe a certain forward, backwards, forward, backwards. It's all subtle. You see, it's all about becoming subtle and observing, contemplating, flowing with these movements, with these, changes. Because it is like a subtle, the third eye in the beginning. Maybe it's just like in the Indian tradition, just a point. No, but actually, the more you cultivate, like going to the gym, growing muscles, the more you cultivate that, it is an inner space where awareness, consciousness can really, find a device to be held, and this muscle can grow, not just in your head or forehead, in your whole head. You see, the third eye includes the ears, the nose, the mouth, everything, and the whole body. Sooner or later, the whole third eye, not just the whole body, but the whole universe. That's the beauty. And awakening your third eye, because as you have heard, there's the macro and the microcosm. You see, and so we know about the whole macrocosm, about the sun, the galaxies, but also inside, you see the beauty in the third eye awakening is about really contemplating the the microcosm, this inner sun inside. From there, you realize, a deep aspect of you, of the universe. That's all the beauty. Like, my work is to help you to reconnect with your wisdom through the third eye work. Because the more, let's say, my meditation practices or my retreats or my, the healing sessions, the individual healing sessions, I'm holding a certain space where you can reconnect with that inner space of your third eye in the heart. And by this reconnection, you find certain answers. You see, these answers before, they were kind of hidden. But now they are coming forward like a subtle voice, like an inner voice. And when this inner voice comes forward suddenly, because you have found a certain space of inner silence, inner serenity, this inner voice will give you so much clarity or direction, because it's your inner voice. And that's the beauty of my work. The meditation. Today, this video, is all about meditation. The next one will be about the healing process, the healing aspect. But coming back to meditation, it's a process. You see, when we start meditating, there is the ordinary mind, and the whole process towards a mind that is luminous, illumination. See it like this. Meditation is a process from the darkness to the light, from feeling defeated to feeling, unified, from feeling fragmented, again, to be one. That is, especially from darkness, from a, in Spanish you say mente ordinaria, an ordinary mind, whatever that is. But that's the beauty and the process to go for the illuminating process, for the illumination part, dimension. In the beginning, when we meditate, maybe it's all about darkness. You see, we all have kind of, in Spanish you say la sombra. How do you say that in English? It's, I don't want to call it the dark part of us, like Dark Vader, of Star Wars. But we have, you see, we have not just lived this life, we have lived many lifetimes. Like the Dalai Lama says, you see, we have to see the human beings so much in a bigger dimension about karmic influences, past life influences. And so, hence the power, the depth of the human psyche is infinite. And in that process, to go for illumination, what happens? Of course, we want to feel light, we want to feel joy, we want to feel, happiness, fullness, all these qualities. That's there. But what happens in that process? we are touching certain defense mechanisms, because the inner child doesn't want to feel, doesn't want to remember, doesn't want to see. You see, that is important in meditations. Many people, they don't go further into meditation because they're hitting subconsciously these layers in themselves, that the inner child or something inner closed, inner part closed. Don't want to see, don't want to remember, don't want to feel. You see, and that is the power of meditation, because from darkness to light, we have to go through the ups and downs. We have to, heal this, these deep wounds in our space, in our inner space, in our memory, in our vast memory of the universe. And so you have heard many other teachers saying, in certain moments, when we touch something profound, or we are kind of confused, we need sometimes a certain guide, a certain teacher, a certain mentor. Because when we hit these levels of defense mechanism, don't want to see, don't want to go forward, we need, for certain periods of time, a certain person, a professional, an expert, who guides us through. And that is the beauty. You ask, or you knock, and someone will open the door, or you ask and it shall be given. You ask the universe. There is the saying, when the disciple is ready, the master appears. So never, please keep asking for help. Help from within, help from the outside world, a certain mentor. Always great to have fun. So meditation, coming back to meditation, please keep in mind, meditation is about going within, becoming subtle, and cultivating the being aspect. Like I said before, we always action, the being aspect. It's about finding the balance between action and being. That's the beauty. Because then when we cultivate more the being aspect, suddenly we're in a certain flow. The universe flows, certain work or new offers, new friendships, all kinds of new opportunities come into our life because we are in that flow. But it might take some time. You see, that's also the beauty. For some people it's easier, for other people it's a little more difficult. And yet, the more difficult it is, you see, the more power, you can really regain. Because all these difficulties are like challenges. See it as a challenge, whatever that is. It's an illness, it's a separation, or suddenly, a father, mother dies. All these challenges, they're here so we can grow. We can overcome, and we see the bigger picture. That's all about meditation, instead of the ordinary mind that's sometimes very closed, opening to this illumination that is just more open. Yeah. I always say, welcome to the hero's journey. The hero's journey, not just conquering, countries or like we see in the outside world, but no, the hero's journey within. The awakening consciousness, the awakening of energy, because the more we awaken from within, you see, there's something changing. As I said before, suddenly we see reality with new eyes, subtle but profound, more authentic. So I hope this video about meditation, what is meditation, hope it inspires you to go deeper. I'm here if you resonate with my energy, or if you would like to try a couple of individual sessions, or to do my relaxation practices you have available in my English channel for free. Go ahead, contact me, and if you have further question about meditation, let me know and I will come back to you. But see it like this, an adventure into consciousness. Okay, all the best. Bye bye.